The tapestry of Jeff Brazier's life in the past 12 months reads like a novel penned by fate's most capricious hand, a weave of profound joys shadowed by wrenching sorrows, where the threads of family loyalty tangle with the barbs of betrayal and the quiet ache of solitude. At the center of this whirlwind stands Jeff, the steadfast television presenter whose journey from obscurity to the unforgiving glare of public scrutiny began with unimaginable loss. Now 46, he navigates a landscape scarred by relational fractures, legal skirmishes, and the relentless pull of mental health's undercurrents, all while clinging to the roles that define him: father, partner, survivor. The most recent fracture in this already strained narrative came with the reported dissolution of his marriage to Kate, the PR maven who had been his anchor for over a decade. Their union, forged in 2013 and solemnized in a heartfelt ceremony in 2018, positioned Kate as a loving stepmother to Jeff's sons, Bobby and Freddie, the cherished remnants of his past with the late Jade Goody. Yet, whispers of discord had long simmered beneath the surface, erupting into a full schism that saw Kate vacate their shared home a mere 3 weeks prior. Jeff, ever the stoic in the face of upheaval, alluded to the rift through cryptic social media vignettes, snapshots of a serene countryside retreat, captions evoking a transitional time bathed in calm. The imagery spoke volumes: rolling hills under a vast sky, a solitary figure contemplating horizons, the subtle absence of familiar rings on fingers that once intertwined without hesitation. This parting wasn't their first dance with separation. Echoes of a prior split in late 2022 lingered like unresolved chords. That earlier unraveling had plunged Jeff into depths of isolation he described with raw vulnerability. "I've honestly never felt loneliness like it." The words, shared in an Instagram missive, painted a portrait of a man adrift or supporting a loved one through crisis, relocating with his boys to uncharted terrain, confronting the hollow echo of an empty nest as his sons carved independent paths. Christmas, with its obligatory cheer, loomed as a cruel jest in that confession, a holiday hijacked by grief's untimely intrusion. Yet resilience, Jeff's quiet superpower, prevailed. By July 2023, reconciliation bloomed anew, rings reclaimed and vows reaffirmed in sun-drenched holiday frames that radiated tentative hope. Now, as Kate retreats to her Hackney flat and Jeff wanders wedding bandless through Reykjavik's crisp air, the cycle renews, leaving observers to ponder the fragile alchemy of love under pressure. Compounding this personal earthquake is the labyrinthine saga with his youngest son, Freddie, a 21-year-old aspiring model whose path has veered perilously close to self-destruction. Their feud, a public spectacle that unfolded across courtrooms and social feeds, centered on Freddie's bond with his maternal grandmother, Jackie Budden, a figure Jeff has long viewed as a corrosive influence. Jade's mother, with her own history of tabloid tempests, became the flashpoint when Jeff sought legal injunctions to sever Freddie's access, citing fears for the young man's spiraling well-being. Court dates loomed like storm clouds, paperwork a bulwark against what Jeff perceived as enabling toxicity. Freddie, in turn, accused Jackie of igniting his cannabis dependency at the tender age of 12, a revelation that fractured the narrative of grandmotherly innocence. "My nan is definitely the person who introduced me to reefer and got me hooked," Freddie confessed on his podcast, his voice cracking with the weight of hindsight. The admission painted a grim portrait, a boy adrift in the aftermath of maternal loss, grasping at vices introduced under the guise of comfort. The rift deepened through a series of visceral clashes. Freddie's episodes, manic spirals that culminated in psychiatric wards and ambulance sirens, became fodder for raw, unfiltered TikToks, where he chronicled his descent with unflinching candor. One video, set to a haunting voiceover, recounted a car crash 2.5 years prior, a deliberate collision born of despair, after crashing a car in a manic episode in an attempt to end it all. The footage intercut with images of hospital gowns and shadowed streets, Freddie's 18th birthday spent not in celebration but confinement, a psychiatric ward's sterile walls mocking the milestone. "Something clicked in my head, needed to change," he captioned, transitioning to montages of gym sessions, verdant salads, and the loyal companionship of his bulldog, Pablo. These posts, equal parts cry for help and declaration of defiance, underscored a young man wrestling with addiction's grip, strong cannabis as a bad coping mechanism that supplanted meals, leaving him hollowed by starvation and smoke. Jeff's interventions, born of paternal desperation, only widened the chasm. Legal maneuvers to bar Jackie's influence backfired spectacularly. By June, Freddie was ensconced in her Bermondsey flat, the duo inseparable in their defiance. Family confidants painted a picture of unbreakable kinship, Jeff may hate her for all sorts of reasons going back many years, but Freddie loves her very much. They whiled away hours with her dog, reminiscing in the cluttered warmth of a space that held echoes of Jade's vibrant chaos. The courtroom gambit, intended as protection, instead amplified the discord, transforming private pain into tabloid spectacle. Yet, amid the melee, glimmers of mending emerged. Freddie's impending fatherhood, a surprise pregnancy with on-again, off-again girlfriend Holly Swinburne, acted as an unforeseen bridge. It has blindsided him and has been one of the things that has really brought him and his dad back together, a close ally revealed, noting Jeff's immediate pivot to support. Advice dispensed, hands extended in solidarity. The irony stung, Jade absent from this milestone, her son stepping into parenthood's uncharted waters without her guiding light. Freddie's road to redemption, however, remains potholed. His June announcement of rehab in Spain, a bold stand against a habit rooted in adolescence, dissolved into ambivalence days later. You know what, I don't need rehab. I just need a holiday with a good group of boys or a retreat. The flip-flop mirrored deeper turmoil, accusations against Jackie evolving from denial to indictment. Prioritized my relationship with my mom's mom not knowing she has been lying to me for years. The fallout rippled into his romance with Holly, now estranged amid co-parenting dread. Freddie, confessing fears of fatherhood as a broken man, terminated the relationship, only for Holly to retaliate by attempting to claim Pablo. Insiders described the pair as flighty characters, their volatility exacerbated by youth and uncertainty. A paternity test confirmed Freddie's role, yet the revelation brought no peace. Only the specter of divided loyalties and a child entering a fractured world. For Jeff, these tempests converge into a year of unrelenting siege. Thrust into fame at 30 by Jade's tragic exit from cervical cancer in 2009, he shielded Bobby and Freddie from the media maelstrom, retreating to quiet normalcy. Their mother,